Hello, all. I am Sonal, and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. As you all know, the series is all about the prominent achievers of the country who has made India proud in some way or the other. So, the main focus of the series is to all let you know about the achievements and experiences of our guest. So, today we have Mr. Bhavik Vora, founder and CEO of Black, White, Orange Brands Private Limited. But before we start the conversation, let's have a look at a very small video telling you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello, Mr. Vora, how are you?
Hello, Sonal. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure having you, sir. So, first of all, please tell us about your professional role.
So, just to give you a little bit of background on what I have done. I've been in the media and entertainment space for since 2002, 2001, 2002, and the journey started with Star India when they were launching Radio City in Mumbai. So I was part of their first operations in Mumbai, and then post that. Was significant years were spent in Turner International. I was managing their brands Cartoon Network and Pogo on licensing and merchandising, and then joined a company called Dream Theater, which was into licensing. And the last stint was with Viacom 18, where I ran the the acquisition business on consumer products for Viacom 18. So this was till 2015, and since 2015, I started my own company, Blackbird Orange, with a couple of my ex-colleagues from Viacom 18 who are co-founders with me in Black, White, Orange. Yeah, so that's my journey in the last 17, 18 years.
Wow, that was great, sir. So now, please tell us that how did the idea of starting this business came to your mind?
So, I speak to a lot of people in terms of when they ask me, what is, why did you decide to be an entrepreneur and stuff. But it's not about getting an idea. It's always about there was always this yearning to do something on your own, and when the desire to do something meets a purpose is when you really think of starting something. So there was always this yearning while I was in the corporate life, and always wanting to do more and desire to do more. But then in 2015, I found a purpose to that desire, which was to build something for the fans across all the genres, whether it's sports or entertainment or fashion or whatever, which we thought was very underserviced. And that's when I found two really cool, like-minded people who shared the same ideologies with me, which is Mitali Desai and Diksha Mehta, who are co-founders with me in Black, White, Orange. And then three of us decided to leave our corporate jobs to start Black, White, Orange. And the whole thing started from that desire and the purpose to get into this industry.
Okay. So, as we know that life is not at all a bed of roses for anyone. So, talking about your journey, what sort of challenges you have faced, and also tell us how did you find the solution to those challenges?
So, to be honest, after working for almost 15, 16 years, 15 years almost in the corporate world, you are so used to uh, a salary hitting your bank every month, and the paycheck hitting your bank, where your next paycheck is coming from. That doesn't happen when you are in the entrepreneur journey, especially if you are bootstrapping and you really are not starting your business through some kind of investment or something. So that's how we started. There was obviously the anxiety, and there was obviously the whole the fear of whether we'll make it. It probably, if I have to put it, it's the toughest thing I've ever done, becoming an entrepreneur. But it has also been the most rewarding, in that sense. So there have been challenges, because when you are doing a job, you have a certain role to play in corporate life. But when you're an entrepreneur, right from being an office boy to being an admin to a legal to finance, which we had no idea about, is something that you have to start learning, and you have to start abiding. There are rules, regulation, government, paperwork. All that was very new to us, so we took time to grapple with that. But I think the biggest learning that I have had through that journey is that if I was alone, I would have really not been able to do it. And I advise a lot of entrepreneurs that it's always good to start with somebody, because there are so many times in the entrepreneur journey that you feel demotivated, and you feel it's the end of the world, or maybe this is not for you. But when you have partners, you actually lift each other up, and you always find a way to get out of that zone. So yeah, so I think we had those challenges, but I think because we were together, we actually could get through that.
So as you have told that together you made it, right?
Yeah.
So here's our next question, that everyone do have their own future plans. So what are your future plans for your organization?
So, it's been 5 years. In fact, we celebrated 5 years in 2020, which ironically is turning out to be the most important year for everybody. So we obviously are now in a phase where we have, decently established ourselves as a licensing and merchandising business, and a key player in India when it comes to the L&M business. And we have a very flourishing creative studio business, which we started 3 years back, where we did a lot of design work for a lot of international brands, and we continue to do that. And we actually do a lot of work for Indian brands as well. We are now dabbling into creating our own original IPs. That's the next phase that we are getting into with Blackbird Orange. And we want to create IPs which are not just restricted to content, but we want to create original IPs which are built in India, and also has a massive brand extension possibility. So the value is just not coming from the broadcast or content, but it's also coming from the extension of those brands, which is what we have been doing for a lot of the international brands. So we personally believe that there is a lot of scope, especially with some of the Indian brands, because when we started Blackbird Orange, one of the key things we wanted to do when we started Blackbird Orange was that we wanted to make Indian brands look cool. We took one step towards it by when we started working on Bahubali, and we created a global program for Bahubali merchandise, and we got massive recognition and validation for that program. And that gave us confidence to now delve into more Indian brands, and over a period of next few months, you will see some key announcements happening in this space from our end.
Okay. We would really love to know more about your future goals and all that. But for now, please kindly elaborate us about your product and services.
So, Blackbird Orange started off as a brand licensing company. This is what the core team has been doing for a while. We represent some of the most iconic entertainment brands in the country, which includes Universal Studios, Hasbro, DreamWorks Animation, Discovery Animal Planet, Paramount Pictures. For the longest time, we managed Game of Thrones in India. We also manage a lot of Indian IP. So we manage the Sony Ye kids business. We in fact dabbled in IPL when we represent RCB for some time, and now we are also working closely with the KKR team. So licensing and merchandising has been our core business, which continues to contribute a significant part of our revenue. And obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we have a very flourishing design business. Half of our team strength, in fact, when we started Black White Orange, we were three of us, but now we are a team of 20, and half of our team strength is actually creative people. We do a lot of work on creating brand communication designs, creating style guides, Bibles, a lot of creative work for big names in India.
Okay. Well, that's great, sir. Talking about Atman Bharat, how's your organization contributing towards it?
So I'm very happy that our prime minister has decided to look within to find opportunities. And if you look at our business is always dependent, at least traditionally, has depended a lot on international brands and the whole aspiration to have and own international brands. And like I said, in my in previously also, that we are very keen to create Indian brands that Indian consumers can use and also travel globally. We had already started that initiative with Bahubali, and we are currently working with a few partners. And I unfortunately I can't name those opportunities right now because I'm under confidentiality. But uh, for us, it's a great step because we are looking at brands within our country and making them big for our own people, and that's something that we really think will be the future of licensing in India, because that's where the footprint of the business will grow much bigger, the category will become much bigger, and the industry will flourish because of that.
Okay, I'm sure it will flourish. So, I was literally waiting to put forward this question to you, and that is, what were your feelings on winning Indian Achievers Award?
So every award is special, and it more than anything else, it gives it's a proof of validation of our the journey that we have decided to take, and that's what gives us confidence that when our clients say good things about us, and when the brands that we represent talk good about us and give us testimonies, and when Indian Achievers Forum gave us this award. These are things which actually builds our confidence further that we are on the right path, and we are doing something right, and we should continue our journey. And it also gives us and probably others the confidence to probably start their own journey if they feel the time is right, because the more entrepreneurs India builds, the more opportunities it will create in terms of employment, in terms of business. And like you said, the Atmanirbhar thing, the whole vision of Atmanirbhar will really be fruitful if more people start, setting up their own vision and building their own businesses in India. And and frankly, that's exactly the reason why, validation from India Achievers Forum is, that much more important.
Okay. So, talking about your social involvement, what are you contributing towards the society?
So we try and do a lot of our programs when we represent brands. We do ensure that the story and the concepts that we create around those brands appeal to some kind of social change. Like we represent Animal Planet in India, and one of the things that we thought which we should really put out for the consumers, which is creating awareness and also building a consumer product, is the whole animal endangerment thing. So we actually tied up with Virat Kohli, with Animal Planet, Virat Kohli's brand Wrong, basically, and we created this entire concept of animal endangerment in form of design. So when you wear those designs, and every part of the design and the labels and the tags had this story that if you don't take care of your animals, then they will be extinct at some point. So we try and create awareness about things that bother us in our day-to-day life or the world in general through our consumer products and our designs. And that's what we intend to keep doing in the future as well.
Well, it was really great hearing from you that you are doing this much for the animal protection. So, before concluding our session for today, what message would you like to give to our today's generation who wants to be an entrepreneur someday?
No, frankly, I'm not big enough an entrepreneur to give any message, but I can only share my learning. And uh, uh, I think the biggest thing that I've realized being an entrepreneur is not that I want to leave a job and I want freedom to do my own thing, and I don't want a boss. That's why I want to start the business. It should always be There should always be curiosity to start something. There should always be a purpose, and there should always be a need to be solved. I think more than anything else, and the need doesn't have to be solved. The need has to be found first. So for an entrepreneur to be successful, it's not about, and I know that there is this whole world that we are living in where we look up to superstar entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, and homegrown entrepreneurs as well who build businesses like Flipkart and Mintra and all. And there are these million dollar valuations, but it all started with a purpose, and it all started with with a problem which got addressed. So find that desire and find that purpose, and the revenue and money will follow. I think that's my learning on in the whole journey.
I'm really glad to know, sir, that you are a lifelong learner, and it was really a great message. So, thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you so much, Sonal, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you again for the award. It means a lot to us. I mean, all three of us. Unfortunately, only I'm on the screen right now, but my colleagues and co-founders, Mitali and Diksha, are equally responsible for Black White Orange to become what it has, actually. And the entire team at Black White Orange, they are fantastic.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your time, and all the best for your future goals.
Thank you so much, Sonal. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.